Okay, right on. So what you're telling me is you're streaming right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's up, Kevin? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Daniel?
Doing well. I've done a couple of interviews today. I interviewed another guy from NorCal earlier, Lord,
Cool.
and now I have you on. And the reason why is because you are a candidate for Smash Summit, and I we haven't had one of these in a long time.
Right.
So, how have you been?
I've been great. Hello. Nothing much to report. Just finished a quarter of school. Been training a lot and stuff. But yeah.
So, what does a training look like for you?
Well, yesterday I actually went to Shroom's house, got a good maybe 7 hours in, two of which were teams with SFAT. So, I got about 5 hours of singles, 2 hours of teams with SFAT. So it's exactly what I would want.
Nice. So I want to just like talk about it. This will be a longer one because I really want people to get the heart of Kevin Toy, like the side that people don't really get. And in
Okay.
addition, we'll promote you and say like why people should be voting for you. Melee It On Me conspiracy. You were an ex Melee It On Me member, so
Right.
we'll do that. So it's been an interesting 2 years for you. You've had some high points. I'm not yelling. You got fourth place,
Mm-hmm.
but you are infamous for the ninth place curse.
It's true.
Do you remember all those ninth places? Like, could you recite them? Like how
Um,
Mango recites the pound three bracket.
I don't think I could quite recite it to the same accuracy, but I mean, geez, there are a lot, honestly. So there's uh Evo 2014, Evo 2015. We have Apex. Um, geez, no, there's no way I could recite, but those are the ones that have stung the most, and so I remember those the most.
There's a MLG Apex CEO, two Evos, and Smash Summit.
Right, right.
Um, and
That's right.
so
Smash Summit.
I've known you to like have like you developed the self tag. I believe Apex 2015, and I think that was like probably like the highlight of like one of your high point moments. You won NCR shortly after. I'm not yelling. It was a really good like 3 month session for you.
Right.
But then like sometimes over time you just for one reason or another you play PPMD and losers, or you have to play Mango and losers, and you get ninth place. Like how has that been for you?
Actually, I haven't ever really played Mango and Losers to get eliminated.
Or
Mostly
X?
it's yeah, yeah. That's it. It's been PPMD, Axe, and then I usually fight Armada in winners because I'll pretty much never see him in the losers bracket. Um, I mean, fighting PPMD it's fun, but he's certainly like my hardest matchup. Across all of the people, all the gods. I would say just pretty much every single player. There's no other player who I think who has the Marth matchup down as well as he does, and Mewtwo King would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now for Axe, I would say he's just the matchup is very hard for me. Also, there's not a lot of information floating around about Marth versus Pikachu. Um, but more than that, I think Axe is just a player who's really good at pressing his advantages, and especially when he smells blood in the water. So, when he kind of feels that I'm uneasy in the matchup, that's when he turns on the kill switch.
But how does it feel from like an emotional standpoint? Because like you don't want to label yourself and have this mindset of like crap, like another tournament like ninth place. But like, how have you been handling this?
I mean, like all losses, you got to take it in stride. But when I see those guys in my bracket, it's a lot of mental preparation for them. And I wouldn't say like, ultimately losing is my fault, in one way or another. So I can't blame like the tournament organizers for, you know, putting me up against these same guys all the time. So like, I never put like the tournament seeding to blame because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately I should be the one to conquer them. So from that point of view, it's not bad. But when I lose to the same opponents over and over again, and I watch the videos and I'm like, okay, well, I think I learned something this time. I'm gonna try it out and go into tournament all the way. for the top 8 qualifier and it doesn't work out, then that definitely hurts. It hurts more not making the top 8 than losing to those specific opponents, personally.
And then the last one, there's the recent Last Arc Legends interview where, you expressed how you felt about playing SFAT. How was that?
Oh, playing SFAT it was fun, but it was also, extremely it was a different kind of way to play Smash, I would say, because it's at this huge tournament that we're both trying to do well at. We both kind of have a ninth place curse, and we fight each other for the top 8 qualifier. And so I just felt like there was a lot on the line, and it was good actually playing Zach, but losing to him felt awful.
So, one of the big things that I'm wondering from you, so you've been struggling against certain matchups. SFAT's had your number lately. The Pikachu thing has been an issue. Marthedos against PPMD has been an issue. So are you thinking about picking up a secondary and having strong counter picks so you don't have to deal with those matchups?
Originally, I actually was thinking about picking up a secondary, but I don't actually think that that's the right way to go about it. For Axe and SFAT at least, maybe PPMD, but I believe that Marth can beat Pikachu, and after watching some videos recently and just theory crafting the matchup, I do think that I was playing it like completely wrong this whole time, and that next time that I play him, that I'm just going to be applying a lot more new things that I've been trying to think up. For SFAT, I don't think that's a problem with my character either. And also like on the flip side, I wouldn't really know who to counterpick SFAT with besides maybe Fox.
So, there are certain things that, Leffen, and other people have kind of critiqued about your play is that they say that you lack certain fundamentals or you have certain weaknesses. I noticed that you dropped quite a bit of combos, in FD in like the early parts of 2015, but later on you started getting better at it. I think at Genesis 3 that you got a lot better at the chain grab. Are there certain things that you really are focusing on and you're telling yourself like, hey, these are weaknesses, like I need to get better at it?
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. FD is one of them, and I definitely try to practice FD at every single tournament, and of course, not at tournaments. Recent set that I had with Westballs, my FD combos were like really, really, really atrocious to me. But I just didn't lose faith in it, and the next day I counterpicked Ice to. This was, by the way, this was at Five Gods. The next day I counterpicked Ice to FD, and it was like completely fine.
Yeah, I think, you once you realized that you were out, I felt like that liberated you.
Yeah, it did a little bit. I think also like I'm a lot more comfortable fighting Fox as well, just because I'm more familiar with it, even if it's a harder matchup. Because I do think Fox is a harder matchup than Falco for Marth.
So, like, this was, like, something that we've talked about on and off. It's, like, your mindset and mentality going into events. And it seems like, when you don't put as much pressure on yourself, you do better. Like, do you feel like you're discovering more about yourself? Or is there, like, a magic spot that you begin to realize that makes you play better?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like, a mix of, like, ignorance as well as, like, swallowing your pride. Going into like a big tournament where there's like a lot. It seems like there's a lot on the line. Part of it is just like ignoring those feelings of doubt and whatnot, and then another part is you just being like, why should I even feel doubt in the first place?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of actually like what self aims to tackle. And like in my opinion, I think self is like ever changing, and self is never like one thing. So like everyone can have their own idea of what self is, which is if people don't know what self is, that's like my mantra. If you're watching the video right now on stream, you can see that I'm wearing the tag. Um, but yeah, finding the you're absolutely right about finding the medium between putting pressure on myself and being serious.
And I know that what was it, CLG? There's Devin Nash who does a lot of life coach. Have you been getting help from him in any way?
Yeah, actually, I have. I had a really, really, really good talk with him at Five Gods because he was at South by Southwest to deal with some sponsors, and so I got some lunch with him, talked to CLG, talked competitive mindset, all those things, careers.
Hmm. So like, what was like a key thing that you felt like you learned from that?
Um, we talked a lot about what it means to choke. So there's this esports psychologist. His name's Weldon. He's pretty popular these days. You may have heard of him.
Yeah.
A lot of the organizations have like been hiring him for a few to talk to his players. Basically, what Weldon said about choking is that choking is when when you force your mind and your muscles to relearn a process that you've already known. So my best example of this would be chain grabbing on FD. Because once you get the grab, technically for the first 40%, it should be like a one-player game. You up throw them, it's simple. You just keep on doing your up throw, and you get the right grabs and position for it, etc. Now, in that situation, to choke would be to mentally go through all of the little nuances of the muscle memory that you've learned in practice. So like uh, and you don't want to be doing any of this. So you don't want to be thinking, okay, grab, up throw, dash dance, jump cancel, grab, up throw. You don't want to be thinking about it so piecewise. It should come more naturally. So when you think about it more piecewise, your brain is actually regressing in the muscle memory, and for that moment, you have to relearn what the chain grab is. And the point that Weldon was trying to make is like the processes that you go through when you do these flowchart based kind of techniques, it should just be done thoughtlessly. And I think against my set against West Balls this weekend, sorry, not this weekend. Yeah, it was this weekend.
Yeah.
In Smash Summit, sorry, in Five Gods, that's exactly what happened. It was just regressing, thinking too hard about my combos and not actually following through with it.
I see. And this is something you just picked up last weekend from talking with Devin, right?
Yeah, it's been on my mind, but he was really, we talked about it, and he was the one who really, you know, helped me come to understand what that really is and, what it feels like.
Very nice. I read his posts. I actually love it. I read his like how to write an email recently. It's really good stuff.
Are you Weldon or Devin?
Devin.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to your pride and joy. And the interesting thing I've noticed about you is I feel like I could be wrong, but just from inferring from your personality, you're not like the type of person that really likes the limelight. You're the type of guy that likes supporting other people and seeing we as opposed to me.
Okay.
And so
right.
we're going to talk about teams.
Right. Okay.
So you have, you and SFET have done really well for yourselves. Do you happen to remember like what you've done this year for the stream? Just for the stream.
Yeah. Are you saying in the last 365 days or just 2016?
We'll say like 2015 till now.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, I'll start it at CEO. So CEO is the first tournament where I was sponsored at. That was in Florida, and SFAT 9, we play teams, make it all the way to winners finals, I believe. And we lose the winners final set, and we play the losers final set, and it's sloppy, and we lose the losers final set. So Zach and I go outside, and we're like, I'm tired of these third places. We're telling each other because I think 2014 we just had so many third place in teams. We're like, I'm tired of these third places. Like, we need to work on this. And we go into the next tournament, which is Evo, with a completely new mindset, trying to keep our stamina up the whole time. And we end up taking first place at Evo, which is great. Shortly after that, we play in the Smash Summit, and we also win that first place without dropping a set, I believe. I think we won it from losers against Mewtwo King and Armada. And let's see. After that was third place, I think, at HTC, and then second place at Genesis 3. Yes, that's what I remember. Do the Tafo stats say that I missed anything?
You switched HTC and Smash Summit, if I remember the timeline of it correctly.
Oh, okay. So HTC was before Smash Summit?
Yeah, HTC was my dad's birthday, and Smash Summit was in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I remember.
Oh, by the way, it's my 28-month anniversary on Twitch. There it is.
Ooh, thank you so much for
Sup,
subscribing
I
to us. So it was unfortunate because there's a lot of events where, for one reason or another, you couldn't make it to Paragon. That was it. You couldn't make it to Big House, and you couldn't make it to DreamHack, two of the big tournaments. Battle of the
right.
Five Gods didn't have teams. So pitch us on why we should love PewFat, because this indirectly
Okay.
relates to Smash Summit.
Sure, sure. Um, well, personally, I think you should love PewFat because we're a team that's built on synergy rather than our individual skill. I think that alone speaks to a lot of the players out there because, usually it's you and your friend just teaming up, go to some tournament, and that's what most people hope for. They hope that their teamwork is enough to carry them through the tournament. And, while Zach and I are really good at singles, we generally, late in the bracket, we fight players who have, a much higher meleeed on me rank than us, such as like Music King Armada, something like that. Um, and so, in a lot of scenarios, I feel like we're seen as like the little guy because, we're not just the brawn, we're also the brains, try to play with formation and just like by covering each other. So, I don't know. It's kind of a weird question to ask me why I think other people should love PewFat, but I think that's our most defining quality. And we're also friends, That's another thing. Like a lot of the teammates, they're not friends. They're not actually friends. So yeah.
That's so funny. Have you ever seen Leffen and Mango Team?
Oh yeah. I saw it. That was Left. I know the comeback, the almost comeback against Music King Armada. There was oh my god. Music King and Armada are up 4 stocks to Mango's 1, and Leffen is just like laughing at Mango. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna do this 2v1." Like no actual like moral support. In a way, that was supportive of Mango. But yeah, I have seen them team. It's pretty funny to watch.
So what are your goals? Like, so we're making our pitch here. There's a PewFat draw, which is also huge. It might actually be enough of a reason why many people would want to get you in. But what are like some of the other things that would attract people or incentivize people to say like, I gotta donate my votes to PewFat or PewPew?
Well, there's not a lot of Marth representation at Smash Summit, and I do think that Marth is like one of the characters these days. Ever since 2015, since PP's run at Apex, that's just been like largely growing in popularity. Especially people want to see more like top level matches of Marth against other characters. Especially me, I feel like the character is like always growing. Excuse me. Additionally, last Smash Summit, PewFat took it. We won. And let's say I'm a cool person. How about that? Does that work? Does that work too, Daniel?
It does work.
Okay, awesome.
It does work really well. And so what are some of the things you want to work on until then, because you have about a month, I would say.
Right. So, I have things that I want to work on in game, first of all, but I also want to work on content. So I guess first I'll talk about content. I really want to start doing my tutorials again, because that was like the tutorials were a big thing for us. And oh god, I'm watching the stream right now. This match right here, our double Fox against Music King and Hacks. I really think that we could have taken them here. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to digress too hard.
It's okay.
But yeah, I want to be making more tutorials. Definitely want to be making just a lot more content for the Marth players out there because we're missing, like a the Marth players. I feel are missing like a spokesperson, maybe like a representative. I feel like King doesn't fully represent Marth. PPMD is kind of in the shadows. We're not really sure what he's doing all the time too. Um, and the Marth players kind of just need that guy who can provide for them. In terms of singles, I definitely want to work on the chain grab and also the Peach matchup, the Sheik matchup, and the Pikachu matchup. Sheik matchup because King and Plup. I think I'm actually pretty good at it these days, even though I struggled with it in the past. Peach because I guess MacD is a threat to all the Marth players now after 3-0ing King, and of
No,
course
no,
there's
PPMD.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. PPMD, not King. And obviously Pikachu. Who else? It's got to be Axe.
How do you feel about playing Silent Wolf? Because I know that he's really good against Marth.
Yeah, he is. I think a reason why I have dropped sets to auto in the past. I've always every single time that I feel my dashes and my movement aren't on point, I lose to auto. But every single time that I feel that my movement is on point and I can like wait out his approaches with dash dance, that's when I started beating him like pretty badly because I don't actually know we are in sets, but I know that just like the like emotional feeling that I get from winning a set is like, was I moving correctly? It's like, yes, then I won. Was I moving incorrectly? Yeah, then I probably lost the set too.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think you won like a NorCal set against him last year at one of like the NorCal events, but I think you lost a few times when you went to Washington. If I
Oh, that's
remember
right.
correctly.
I went to Washington once, and he took it twice. Yeah, he beat me in 2 sets that tournament.
Yeah, it was like a one of those Northwest Major kind of events.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
I remember Mac D was there too, right?
Mac D was there. Yeah, I fought him in losers finals, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Went to 5 games, and on his last stock, he pulled a ball bomb by accident, and he had to run away because he had it in his hands. And I chased him off the stage.
That's so funny.
It's pretty funny.
Because he throws it, then you guys both explode, and MacD probably dies first.
Yeah, exactly. Oh Lord. Okay, sorry. I'm watching this stream. I probably shouldn't be doing that.
It's okay. So, what are your goals for 2016? I always like to ask this question.
Right. Well, I have a goal for the first half of 2016, and that's to make top 8 at a major. I always feel like goals should have deadlines, and I don't want to give myself all of 2016. I definitely want, you need to set a time limit, but you can't be limiting yourself too hard. And I think that the first, before Evo, I want to make top 8 at a major. I think that's going to be really important, just like mental practice for Evo as well. So immediately, within the next 3 months, that's one of my goals. Also, another one of my goals is to fight against Armada and Android at a major in finals and beat them. Hopefully solidify the title of best team in the world as well. So, Smash Summit is also going to help that dream. So, if you guys would be so kind. And just conquer that frickin' Pikachu matchup, man. That is a huge goal for me. Just to do it, more so than like to beat Axe. Like I just need to do it for myself, really. Just to be like you're smart enough and you're dedicated enough to overcome this matchup.
And to give you an encouragement, Hugo, like we thought that Samus couldn't do it against Pikachu, and Hugo did it at Evo 2015.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And you did it once. You beat him at NCR.
Yeah, I beat him pretty bad that time too, but that was like NCR 2013. It's not really something that I hold too much merit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Who are some other people that you just like? So you have the team's title that you want to take. Unfortunately, Android's more than likely, or actually, he's not able to make it to Smash Summit now that the first round of voting's happened. You want to
Right.
beat Axe. Is there anybody else that you have a big target on that makes you say like I want to beat this guy?
PPMD. PPMD is a huge, huge target on his head, like enormous target.
Like what makes
He's
him so
also
hard for you? Like that it's like a rough matchup.
it's actually it's just his control with his movement. I think his movement is so unique, and um, in the Marth Ditto, it's the kind of movement that doesn't sacrifice a lot of space while he can still remain so mobile, and that that's like really interesting to me, and that only makes me want to beat him that much more. I also feel like he just is an innovator, and beating those kinds of players is always really satisfying.
Mm, fair enough. You don't have any grudge against like who else is there?
You want me to say Leffen, don't you?
No, I was just like I'm just running through the list. You
Uh,
mean I'm running through the list. You've beaten Mango like 3 sets in your life.
right.
You haven't
I
beaten
really
Armada.
want to play Mango. I really, really want to play Mango because I do feel like I'll win, but I got to make it there to play him.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm making it through winners, he's already like in losers by fighting Axe or Plup or something.
So you've beaten Mango 3 times. Yeah, you guys just haven't met. I haven't
We
remembered.
really haven't.
I mean, you guys played in
Recently,
that crew battle and you spanked him.
yeah, but that's a best of one when he's down one stock. That's mentally it's not remotely close to the same thing.
That's true. Um, you've had a rough time against Armada lately.
Hmm.
Let's see. Leffen, Heartbreaker, I'm not yelling.
Right.
Yuta King,
I wasn't too heartbroken about Leffen. Everyone else was really heartbroken about Leffen, though.
I was heartbroken. You know what I would have told you had I sat next to you?
Not to counterpick FD.
Yeah. I was like, did I tell you the story? I was on my way home because I live in SoCal, and I was telling Wes because we were listening to it. And by the way, Bobby and Phil do a really good job of having the radio voice because we could just only listen to the audio. And you were
Uh-huh.
up 2-0, I believe, and I was like,
Like, don't take him FD,
and,
Kevin. Don't take him
like,
FD.
and then I think it went 2-1 after he won Dreamland. I was like, please just pick Yoshi's. Like, Leffen sucks on small stages at that time. I was just like, pick Yoshi's, pick FOD, and the set is done. You have 2 chances on it. And then I was like, and then I heard final, and I was like, no, he's gonna lose this. And then I think he picked Stadium next, and I was like,
Yeah,
no, you're gonna,
Stadium.
and then I was like, no, you're gonna lose this because it's
Stadium
Leffen.
is. I like Stadium against Fox, but I've recently been liking Yoshi's story a lot more. But hindsight 2020.
Yeah. Because like I think your strength is actually compared to other Marths is your ability to combo on platforms. I think you have the strongest platform combo game out of all the
Hmm.
Marths. But anyway, I digress. Is there any other? Let's see. I mean, you and Lucky have like an interesting rivalry. You and Westballs go back and forth all the time.
Oh yeah, I love the little rivalry between me and West Balls. We literally just go back and forth, taking usually 2 sets at a time, and it's usually like, we'll be joking around with each other. It's like, oh, I took the last 2 sets, like I got a streak on you, then the next set, the other guy will win, or just like, ah, god damn it.
Yeah, and it's always close. That's like the silly thing about it.
Yeah, actually, it's either really close or I kind of steamroll him, but the sets that he wins are usually like really, really close.
Yeah. So, you've been a Hungry Box once. PPMD's not going. So
Right.
I think every matchup that you have has like an interesting like kind of mini story to it.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. Except like pretty much with all players who are in that like top rung of players, except for probably Ice, because I only played him for the first time at Five Gods. But yeah, like I've had like great sets with Hugo, great sets with Lucky, West Balls, most of the gods too. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's exciting.
So some people have been asking, and I've been asking this to everyone too, and we'll kind of like roughly end it. We'll give one final pitch.
Okay.
What's your tier list? And we'll go up to like the point where you start to say like, hey, like this character is not viable to win, or I don't know, whatever your definition of viable is.
Okay. Let me pull up a melee tier list just so I can see all the characters. Okay. So, you probably don't want my ambiguous tier list because in my head I have like two different tier lists. There's the fuzzy one, which is tier S, tier A,
We can
tier
go with
B.
that. We can go with that if you feel like that's more
Okay,
comfortable.
okay. So yeah, I will say there's tier Fox. So there's only one character in tier Fox, and it's Falco. No, it's Fox. So there's Fox in tier Fox. Then the second tier, I put Falco, Sheik, and Marth. Okay, and then in the third tier, I put Peach, Falcon, Jigglypuff, and Ice Climbers. So a lot of people don't agree with Ice Climbers being in the same tier as those guys, but I only think that the recent results have perpetuated that thought for me.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is where it gets fuzzy. I'm looking at this tier list now. I would have to say Pikachu, Samus is in a separate tier of its own, and then a drop off. After Pikachu, Samus, I would say Luigi, and then Mario, and then Dr. Mario. Um, Now I'm trying to think if I want to put Link or Roy above each other because they're both awful, They're both definitely awful. But I think I'd have to put Link over Ganondorf, to be quite honest.
Ganondorf is so bad.
Ganondorf is awful, Daniel. He is so terrible. I don't even need to tell you that, you know. Okay, uh, Ganondorf, then Link. And then from there, I think all characters are utter trash. Um, but let's say the remaining characters go in, the blob tier. And then below the blob tier, I think we have Kirby, Roy, and Ness. And Ness is like my favorite low tier, but I'm so sorry. Ness belongs in the blob tier. And yeah, that's my tier list.
I see. And
Oh
so,
yeah, I didn't rank Yoshi. Yoshi will be in the Ganondorf Link. Sorry, Yoshi is in the Mario Bros tier.
okay, he can't be as bad as Ganon.
No, no, definitely not. Not even close, actually.
All right. So let's make our TLDR summary pitch on why if
Sure.
make the clever soundbite on why people should vote for you.
Oh Lord, the clever one. Um, well, I mean, Smash Summit's in a month. If you guys want to see some great gameplay and some great commentary and some great teams, there's me. While that wasn't clever, I do think that that's fact. And among all the other candidates, I do think that I would bring the most to the plate, just by the the widespread interestingness of the Smash Summit. Because people, sometimes tend to forget that Smash Summit isn't just a 16-man bracket. Smash Summit is full of all these little games. We got Mafia 2, which I was terrible at last year, but it was interesting. And all these commentary blocks. I love doing four-man commentary. Four-man commentary was like one of the most amazing things that I did at Smash Summit.
Um,
Daniel, I think you're gonna have to help me out with being clever though.
Dude, it's gonna be really fun because we're actually thinking of new games for you guys to participate in that aren't just Smash.
Oh, can you disclose this, Daniel?
Well, I mean, you guys are going to be playing Rivals of Aether too, which is another game. But we're going to have
Oh,
interaction, if it meets a certain goal. But we're going to have interactive games just to see how you guys interact with each other. So
okay.
I'm not sure if it's going to be quite like charades, but you may have a list of props or something. They may tell you to do something with it. Um,
Okay.
and different kind of team exercise games where you guys will pick teams. I don't know the exact format, but it's ideas that we're playing around with.
Right on. Well, I love team games. You already know I love team games.
Yeah. So it's gonna be funny. I can't imagine how if Mango and Hungry Box were on the same team, how they would interact in
Oh, the dynamic, the power struggle.
There's so many different combinations there. I just don't know how it's gonna work. That'd be really
Yeah.
funny if you Shrew, Dewan, and Esfet all were on the same team, and you guys used the power of love and friendship and won everything.
Oh, that can overcome anything, Daniel.
It can. Were you a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh?
Um, I wasn't a fan of playing it, but I was a fan of watching it.
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh got ridiculous when I'm not sure if you ever played when Magical Scientist came out.
No, I don't remember Magical Scientist. What does that do?
So it was a really broken card where it was a 2 star. It was like a 1 star summon where it had an ability where you pay 1,000 life points and you can bring in a fusion monster that's like 5 stars for
Okay.
the power of 1,000.
Wow. And you
Um,
have 8,000 in that game, right?
yeah, but the thing is that fusion monster can't. I forgot what the rules were. You can attack directly on your opponent with that fusion monster. But there was a broken combination with Catapult Turtle, which I'm not sure if you knew it. Basically, like you can sacrifice a monster, and half of its attack damages your opponent's life points. So you have
Oh
this
my
like
God.
2100 monster, this fusion monster that you summon for 1,000,
Uh-huh.
and you do it 7 times, and you use Catapult Turtle to do like,
Oh my God.
and then you sacrifice the magical scientist, and then sacrifice the turtle, and you do instant 8,000 damage.
That's just an OTK, just straight up.
Yeah, and there are times where like I wouldn't even be able to play the game because if they went first and they played a certain, there were many different combinations that would trigger that on turn one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dear Lord. See, that's exactly why I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's actually why I don't play card games in general, besides Cardstone. But
It's,
yeah, Cardstone is for the laughs.
I actually kind of want to get into Hearthstone. I used to be really good. Like I was top 50 in Yu-Gi-Oh for a year.
Dang, how do they do those rankings?
You entered sanction events and you had an ELO.
Oh my God, they did ELO?
Yeah,
What? That is nutty. Okay. Did you play Magic?
I didn't play Magic because like strangely enough, like when I played Pokemon and I was like really good, or like in junior high.
I remember when you were on your Pokemon, I think.
That was round two of Pokemon, so I stopped and then played again, and you were in my
Oh,
face too.
okay.
But I played Pokemon, and all the Magic people were like douchebags to me, so I was like, I'm never gonna play this game. So I never actually got into it.
I see.
I think I'd be really good at it though. I mean, I'm good at poker. I was really good at Pokemon, and I was really good at Yu-Gi-Oh.
I see. Daniel, have you been playing Street Fighter V out of curiosity?
So funny story. So you know how I got into the car accident?
Yes.
Um,
I guess this is how funny stories start? Question mark?
yeah. So the PS4 was in my trunk, and they towed away my car, which had my
Uh-huh.
PS4 in it. So I haven't been able to play it. But
Oh my God.
I did pick up my PS4, and it was perfectly intact, even though the trunk was like pushed in.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I have my PS4 now, and I'm probably gonna start playing tomorrow.
Oh, good stuff. Dude, how are you feeling actually after that accident? I hope everything's okay.
My back is like chronically sore. It's really sad. Like I have back pain all the time.
Did you go to the doctor and whatnot to get it checked?
I went to the doctor. I had no issues with it, or they said it was like there's no damage, like
That's good.
nothing broke. But I'm going to the chiropractor 3 times a week,
Ah,
and it's just like that feeling where you feel stiff and tense all the time, and like
yeah,
there's no way of relieving it. So
that's no good, man.
so it kind of sucks, but like, um, I didn't cause the accident. I got rear-ended, so I'm not paying anything, and it wasn't my fault. So
Uh-huh.
my chiropractor, I'm getting a pain and suffering kind of money for that, and I'm getting my car. They're giving me a little bit extra of what it was worth because it's like a 5-year-old car, and they're giving me like $11,000 for it.
Oh, nice.
So I have to buy a new car. I'm using a rental car, but it's nice that like I'm not at fault. My insurance doesn't go really high, and like
Yeah,
my medical bills are getting paid.
yeah, that is good. I guess that's like the best case scenario. And no one got hurt, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I probably got the worst end of it out of everybody.
Oh, I mean, there's more than two people involved.
So I got pushed. The car from behind hit me so hard that it pushed me into another car.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And how's that car doing?
That car, like, fortunately, because like I was completely stopped, it wasn't as bad. It was like the front was like had like cosmetic damage, but like there was no motor damage or anything.
I see. And your car is like straight up unusable.
Yeah, they said it's a total loss.
I see. Ah, that's rough, man.
Yeah. So I mean, so hopefully I do fine. Like and then, I might get a car. I might not. depending on certain circumstances that are coming up, I may not even need a car, depending on if I move to NorCal.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see.
Cool.
Anyway, we'll kind of close it from here. Any shout outs?
Of course, shoutouts to CLG and shoutouts to my family. I love them. Love both of them. They're two in the same thing. Also, shoutouts to Melee'd on me. These are the guys, in case you guys don't know, who pretty much got me started on the sponsor game. Taught me a lot about how to just market myself better. And yeah, shoutouts to you too, Daniel.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and I hope you have a really awesome night. It's 9:00.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to head over to the Smash 4 Foundry, so
Nice.
you guys might see me on the commentary in an hour or so.
Alrighty, sounds good. Have a good night, Kevin.
Yeah, you too, Daniel.